3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
As we grow closer to the moon and it continues to take up more and more of the frame, it's easier to make out some of those craters.
As we continue to get live views here for the next minute or so, we will potentially see the Earth start to go just behind the moon.
We've been hearing about the promise of returning to the moon for 50 years, ever since the last Apollo mission back in '72. And so finally, NASA launched a capsule to the moon. No people on board, not yet, but now it's coming. They're on track, and it looks like it's really going to be happening soon.
It's a new window into the history of our universe. And today we're going to get a glimpse of the first light to shine through that window.
You see this kind of bubbly, almost foamy appearance throughout the whole nebula with some very structured shells. And this foaminess is showing up in orange mainly. And this is due to the molecular hydrogen that's newly formed in the expansion.
This stunning vista of the cosmic cliffs of the Carina Nebula reveals new details about this vast stellar nursery.
It was in middle of summer 2022 when all these breathtaking, deep views, deep looks at the cosmos started coming back from the Webb. And compared to the Hubble Space Telescope pictures, which were good back in the day, these just offered so much more detail because the Webb looks in the infrared and can see through clouds and dust, and the images were just spectacular.
Oh, wow.
Awaiting visual confirmation.
All right. Let's see. We got it? Waiting.
And we have impact.
That's part of a big overriding plan to maybe one day save the Earth so that when an incoming asteroid, if and when it does head our way, Earth can at least send a spacecraft to deflect the asteroid's orbit. And the DART mission, which rammed into the asteroid, just tapped the orbit ever so slightly enough to move it enough that over time, given enough years, that asteroid would no longer be headed our way. So it was a huge success.
Plus 30 seconds, Starship 15 is airborne as we get a view of the 3 Raptor engines as we're powering our way to 10 kilometers altitude in today's test flight.
The big news is going to be when its Starship finally launches from Texas atop the Super Heavy booster. This is going to be one gigantic monster of a rocket, bigger even than NASA's moon rocket that just launched from here in November to send Orion to the moon. Now, the first step is going to be a so-called baby step. Starship is going to actually try to get into orbit around Earth. Now, Musk keeps promising any day, any week, any month, so we'll see. But at this point, it looks like that should be happening sometime early in 2023. These 4 are going to be not only orbiting the Earth sometime maybe in spring of 23, but one of them is actually going to conduct the first private spacewalk. So that is going to be something.
soft capture confirmed.
Of a turn to the left. You know, the vehicle is in space.
Okay, you're traveling down PMA 2, which is where the docking adapters are on the very front of Space Station, and now you're entering into Starliner. So welcome to Starliner for the very first time ever in space.
SpaceX has been the main way for astronauts to get to the space station from the US. And in 23, after several years, Boeing is finally going to be launching its Starliner capsule with its first crew to the space station. Now, that'll be a really important test flight, and if it goes well, then that's going to enable Boeing to join SpaceX in regularly bringing people to and from the space station here from the US.
And there is a view out of the cabin camera of Orion. Splashdown. From Tranquility Base to Taurus Littrow to the tranquil waters of the Pacific, the latest chapter of NASA's journey to the moon comes to a close. Orion, back on Earth.